Hi guys, I'm Cyril, and today we're going to talk about the best resources to prepare for the IMAT. We're going to talk about both theoretical resources, and then we're going to talk about practical resources. The first part, we're going to talk about the theoretical sources. Like I said, we're going to cover like the books and the lectures, so theoretical material from which you can get your initial knowledge. And in the second part of the video, we're going to cover how we can actually apply that knowledge. And well, as far as it goes for me knowledge doesn't really stick unless I will apply it, unless I will see that it is useful for me. So the second part of the video, in my opinion, can be even more important, since practice, in my opinion, is even maybe more or as much or even more important as initial learning. So let's start with the theory. Once again, I'm going to split up the video by topic covered in the IMAT. For example, we're going to start with biology, then we're going to cover chemistry, physics, and mathematics. As well, I'm going to say a few words about logical reasoning and general knowledge. So let's get started with biology. Biology, in my opinion, well, it's not even in my opinion, it's just a fact. It is the most important subject on the IMAT, and you need to be sure that you get it covered. We will start with books, and then we're going to switch up to the video resources for you visual learners. So for books, the biggest book is like a Bible, I would say, for IMAT preparation in biology. It is Pearson book. It's called Pearson A Global Approach, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it's called exactly that. I'm going to attach a screenshot somewhere here. Okay, this is the biggest book. It is huge and it covers everything. Not only does it covers everything, it covers everything. It is extremely it has extremely detailed explanations. Like they're going really deep, and they're having a lot of the nice pictures. But once again, in my opinion, it's if you're going to study it from like cover to cover, it's going to be a little overkill, not only for the IMAT, but some contents that are going to be covered there, they not really useful for the med school in general. So it's not really a pleasant overkill. But if you're going to be picky with this, you are still going to get slightly more than you probably would see on the exam, but it's going to be really good quality content. So the next one that I wanted to talk about is going to be like, if you have like a lot of time, you can go with Pearson, or if you like studying from scratch, you don't have any initial knowledge, and you really love to go into deep explanations. But if you don't want to like go into very deep explanation, you can go with Biology A Global Approach. The problem is that it doesn't really cover everything, I would say. First of all, the anatomy section is not really there, or it's really weak. You should strengthen that. Then some chapters are simply not really useful for the IMAT at all. But otherwise, it's really, I would say, straight to point kind of a book. It's really comprehensive, but quite small. It's actually the choice of yours if you prefer like kind of a deeper explanations and how you say it, more words. You can pick Pearson, and also if you have a lot of time, right? If you don't have that, you can just go with biology A level, and it should be fine. You should once again, we're going to cover that on the second part of the video. The biggest and the most important thing is actually to practice, not just to make you need to understand whether you know information or not on practice, and you're going to see that only on practice. You cannot see that by not practicing. You cannot say, oh yeah, I know that chapter just by reading it, because you can just fake your mind, and you think that you understand, and you think that you know all of that, but in fact you do not know that. And so the best thing to actually debunk this whole idea is to go and just being asked directly a direct question whether you know that or not. So these were the like books for biology. Right now we're going to switch to video resources for people who actually prefer learning from video or lectures or some presentation stuff like that. So say visual learners, we'll call them like that. So here from bio, I am actually I wouldn't recommend Khan Academy too much. I think it's incredible resource for math, and we're going to get to that later. But for biology, I don't really know. I never had someone using it. I took a look on the subject, and it's quite okay, I would say. But I cannot recommend it since I I had no people that I know that passed the IMAT that were using it. Myself, I wasn't using that. So for other part of video resources, we on my website, I'm a practice online. We recently we made a huge kind of a thing which I personally, me myself, I recorded video lessons for every subject, every topic of biology, every concept. It is super compressed and is super straight to point. I tried to provide just enough knowledge for the IMAT and not go into details which won't be on the exam. Also, the important thing is that I kind of after every concept which are going to be covered, which is going to be covered in videos, there are going to be some questions. These questions were picked by me from the past IMAT papers and past TalkMed papers, which are essentially the same thing. Of course, they are translated in English from TalkMed. I mean, they're translated in English, and there is an explanation underneath them. But the thing is, when we are going to cover the topic, for example, let's say oxidative phosphorylation, right? The big topic on the IMAT 2025, by the way. There is going to be a question or even a series of questions from IMAT which are going to ask you directly when you're watching a video about that. This, in my opinion, is really important because it's really reinforce you to actually think about the stuff you just learned. And also it is, for me, the most important thing is that it directly shows you where this knowledge is applicable to. Like you're not just learning something, some abstract thing. You're learning a concrete and direct topic which is going to be covered on the IMAT, and you see that because you just saw a question which was some time ago, and some students actually went and solved that, and they got their points just because they knew the concept which were discussed like a second ago. So now let's move to chemistry. So for chemistry, I would say chemistry is kind of a more complex based subject. It doesn't have really not too much theory like biology is all about memorizing, in my opinion. Well, a big part of it. And anyway, like even you won't be able to understand anything without without actually memorizing stuff. So for chemistry, of course, yeah, the same thing holds true, but there are much more things that I would say concept based. So and also like the amount of information that you have to cover is less, in my opinion. But we still have the, let's say, Bible, which is going to cover absolutely everything and is a global approach piece and book for chemistry. I hope it is called that way. Anyway, I'm going to attach a name and a screenshot somewhere here. Not screenshot, but cover of the book. Somewhere here, so you won't have any troubles to find that. So once again, yeah, this is a big book, huge book, like Pearson always do, and yeah, it covers everything and more than more than enough for the IMAT. Once again, you can go with any A-level book, pretty much. I mean, every like Cambridge, Oxford, those A-level books are fine. I'm going to attach something here. I used A-level Cambridge book. I had this one, and in my opinion, it was kind of nice, I would say. Yeah, and once again, we have chemistry part covered on my website with all of the video lectures which I recorded myself. I would say I'm quite good at chemistry, so I try to exactly explain the concept and make sure you can apply that concept into every situation which you may face on the IMAT. Once again, I try to cover I try to pull as many exercises from past IMAT past papers, which are going to be directly relevant. And you, while watching the video, for example, you just saw some formula or some concept. I'm going to have a question directly on that. For example, you will Le Chatelier principle. You're going to see that. You're going to hear some theory, like one slide, 1 to 2 slides about that, and then you're going to directly have a question, which is going to ask you, which is going to reinforce your memory to apply this exact concept that you just learned on the exercise. Yeah, I mean that is awesome in my opinion. I dreamed I had this kind of a resources when I was preparing. We're going to move to physics. Physics, in my opinion, once again, is really conceptual based, and actually IMAT syllabus is quite big for a medical exam in terms of physics. So physics is also like a subject which is really, it can be done in a short time if you're going to put enough effort in order to understand the concept, and you're going to practice a lot. Practice is a really important thing for physics, and because it's really formula heavy, I would say for physics I don't have a certain recommendation, but any A-level book is going to be absolutely fine for that. I would say you can just use your high school book, because in my opinion, in every kind of a schooling system, physics contents are pretty much the same. It's kind of a universal language. Once again, I paid a lot of attention to physics section on a website for your people who love to learn from visual, from lectures or videos or lessons. So yeah, I paid a lot of attention to, once again, bring as many exercises as possible, because in physics, like I said, you have to apply formulas, and also you not only apply them and not only memorize them, but you also have to understand what, like, how for example, if we're going to increase temperature, how something will change. What if we're going to increase volume? What if we're going to increase like initial speed or something? So you really need to know what each thing means in the formula. And after each like exercise, once again, I provided you like an explanation. I'm explaining what this thing means, what this thing means. What if we're going to increase this thing? How will the answer change? I forgot to mention that it also holds true for biology and for chemistry and for physics, that after every quiz, after every question that I pull directly from the IMAT or TalkMat, I provided you, first of all, there is a text explanation on the screen and you can see that, but also I'm adding words by myself. I'm explaining you why we arrived at certain answer and what we could have done differently. What are the common mistakes here and how you can avoid them. Okay, moving to math, and well, for math sections, there are, in terms of books, I would recommend you to use Math for Dummies. I heard quite a lot of good things about these books, and it is really good at explaining things. So if you have like problem with math, yes, I would absolutely recommend Math for Dummies. But I personally, I picked up quite a lot of math from Khan Academy, and I think it is the best video resource on math. In IMAT, there is no like specific thing for the math. It's just like general math program, and it's extremely different. Like the things covered are going from geometry to like functions to just algebra. So it's just a bunch of different things, and in order to prepare, you really gotta invest a lot of time in it. What I would recommend personally is focusing on the biggest topics on math and mastering those. You can go to the website, and once again, we're going to cover this once again in a practice session, but in my opinion, just having a big question bank and having a look at all of the math questions is extremely nice here. If you are limited in time and you don't have like massive math knowledge, I would definitely recommend just going through and looking at what topics are the most high yield. Then once again, and in my opinion, we're moving now to the like video lessons part of the math theoretical knowledge. The biggest resource is going to be Khan Academy. In my opinion, it is free and it is really good for math. It's just explaining everything, and it is really good for, once again, for the people who want to learn visual and want to like really emphasize a certain thing. So with math, unless like you really good at it and you only need to seal some gaps, and you will be completely fine with all of the syllabus, all of the terms completed. For me, the math workflow would just go into, well, I'm a practice online because it's the biggest database right now for the IMAT exercises. Just reading through the questions and identifying what are the most high yield topics for mathematics and in which you are not that good. So you're going to work through that. Then you are going to go to the Khan Academy and you're going to watch lectures which are going to be related to this exact topic. This is, I would say, general advice just to not exactly being the biggest mathematician in the universe, but just to maximize your chances to have some points on math. Okay, now let's move to kind of a practice workflow. We're going to cover, like right now we covered all of the best theory resources when you can grasp your theoretical knowledge, and now we're going to talking about what are the best resources you can use to actually apply that knowledge. Because like I said, in my opinion, applying knowledge is at least as important as having it and absorbing it, because I will completely forget everything unless I will apply that. Not only will I apply that, but I will see that it is directly relevant, and I need to be 100% sure that the thing that I just studied, the thing that I just saw, is 100% relevant and is high yield, and it's maybe on the exam that I'm going to take. So yeah, first of all, for the all of the you can actually embed your kind of a practice thing into your theoretical learning process. And that is what I done with my videos and the questions after it. Sorry guys, every time I do these cuts and you see the different shots, it's just me coughing because I'm ill, and it takes quite a lot of effort to me to actually speak. So yeah, what I was talking about? I was talking about, yes, I was talking that the best resources that you can do to practice. So yeah, with if you're going to buy this subscription for the video like knowledge thing, the lectures, you're also going to have access to a big database. It is the biggest database of IMAT questions. We took all of the IMAT past papers, but also most importantly, as you know, the new IMAT exam is not going to be like previous Cambridge made IMAT exams. It is made right now by Italian Ministry of Education. The same thing that is they were making Italian medical school test all the way from 1997. And the good news is that we took all of the this Italian Ministry of Education papers. First of all, medical test, all the way from 1997 to 2024. We made it. We took it. We translated it, and we wrote an explanation for each and every exercise. Okay, guys. So here we are. We are on a website. And here is how it looks like. I logged in my profile. You see here is a daily streak. I'm not currently practicing for the IMAT, so I have it at 1, so not really too much to add much here. Now we have a section like leaderboard, statistics, repeat mistakes. Repeat mistakes is really important because you want to make sure you know everything everything in topics in which you're bad in. Statistics also is good to identify the weak topics, but this is not the most important thing. So this is like covering the first part of the video, and this is going to cover the second part. So theoretical knowledge and applying that to exercises. So online lessons. We have physics, chemistry, and biology currently. Like I said, I decided not to do math because first of all, I'm not the best mathematician, and second of all, I don't see any way I can do it better than Khan Academy, because I think they're really straight to point and they cover pretty much everything and more than you need. So I think I did a good job explaining kind of a math workflow that worked for a lot of students. So seeing all the questions, then identifying which are the most topics, which are the most like high yield topics, or which are what topics are you not that good in, then going to Khan Academy and watching that. I think it is going to work good for you because it worked really well for a lot of students. Okay, so for example, we're going to take a look at biology, which is going to be the most high yield topic. You're going to see biology, the study of life. You can go and watch like water and biomolecules, prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell. This is the video, the lecture itself. It is going to download it, but I have really bad internet right now, so we're okay. Here we are. Yeah, in one room. Yeah, here you have it. Then we have practice. We can click exercise, and we're going to be redirected exactly to the page which has all of the exercises regarding that. So we just watched it, and now we're going to apply the knowledge. For example, check. Incorrect. Why is that incorrect? Both types can store glycogen, so we should pick another answer, but we're going to skip it for now because I'm too lazy to read it. Yeah, so for example, what if I want to revisit the topic after some time, after like say a week or something? I want to see if I know enough, if I still know enough of the topic. So for example, you're hitting biology once again. You're going, for example, right now we're going to go to cellular replication, per se. Yeah, and here you have a question. This is a question from the IMAT. I can see that. You can click check. You can once again you just practice. Then you can resume progress if you are going to return to this, and you are going to return to this because you always should, in order to seal all the gaps. Then it is really important to after you covered something, after you covered like a section, for example, biology. You also, like before, when you cover that, you should go and apply that to real IMAT past papers. So here we have IMAT section, which is going to contain IMAT past papers, then TalkMat. They are only premium access, right? IMAT, you can try that for free. You can try the format, how we done them for free. Here's the free trial section. Also, as well as the exercises, we have a free trial section for each, like biology, chemistry, physics, and math. We have all the free trial section. You can try those and see if it's a good fit for you. So TalkMat, yeah, you can see it goes from 1997 to 2024, and there is two versions of it. One in April and one in May. We have also for orthodontics, once again the same syllabus, the same questions, but it goes until 2011. Veterinary, which once again it is just as big as TalkMat. Then we have IMAT AI. This thing is going to we made it analyze the IMAT 2025 blueprint, and we uploaded all of the exercises which are contained in those sections, like all of the TalkMat, TalkMat Auto, TalkMat Vet, IMAT as well. We upload all the exams here, so database it's like more of 8,000 questions, and it is going to analyze the 2025 blueprint, the difficulty level, and the type of questions, and it's going to collect all of the questions from these exams and provide you a new, completely unseen before IMAT mock exam, which are going to have once again the same structure and be as similar to 2025 exam as possible. Okay, so we can just go and try this IMAT AI feature. You can just click generate mock exam, and I will show how it's going to work. So yes, you can see first we have general knowledge question, and I have no idea from what exam it was taken from, but it is absolutely a type of question which you can see on the IMAT once again. Yes, then we have like logical reasoning. Here you can see that just an average, like kind of an IQ test kind of thing. Yes, then we have which of the following structures make a solution that can raise pH in the digestive system of a healthy human. I know that it is an exercise from the IMAT because I used to solve that. I do remember that. Anyway, this is a question from biology, absolutely high yield, and the thing that you can see on the IMAT. So, like I said, the AI is going to try to follow the IMAT structure precisely and provide the best possible mock exam for you. I nearly forgot to tell you that it is kind of the same mechanism you can use to identify the the most high yield topics. For example, you can just go to IMAT year 2024. You can go to math section, it's going to be at the end. Then you can analyze the questions and you can see, once again, you should do that across multiple exams, not only IMAT 2024, but you can see here what are the most high yield topics of the math and physics, then go and track them. Okay guys, so that's pretty much concludes our video. Okay guys, so this pretty much concludes our today's video on the best resources you can use to prepare for the IMAT. We covered theoretical resources, books, as well as like kind of a visual learning material. Then we covered how to practice. I recommended you some books and general ways you can do that for absolutely free. Then I offered you an alloc, which is going to be my website. You can go and try it. Link is below. It has a free trial, so you can see either it's a good fit for you. If you are going to find it helpful, you can buy either just question bank subscription, or you can buy like a full subscription, which, like I said, are going to contain this kind of a very, very high yield lessons on the theory on the IMAT. So once again, I wish you well. I wish you're going to have a really, really good and productive day today, and I would say in general practice for the IMAT, and I hope you're going to pass it in September. So thank you guys. See you. Bye.